So what is it with our lack of trust? This is where we all are struggling. I just had confirmation. I gotta check that. Okay, nothing important. We all have a problem with trusting other people. And it really, what it is our own. It's just defense. It really is just defense because we've been shown that we just can't trust people throughout our entire fucking lives. And then as a kid, in school, some of us were shown that we just can't trust people. And then we grow up to be an adult, and then we really find out that we can't trust people. But it really has nothing to do with us. We see the bullshit. We avoid any kind of pain. Which, I don't know. I don't see it as you're actually healed if you're trying to avoid situations. You really can't avoid situations. Then, again, everybody's all focused on themselves, which I do understand why, But there's really no reason to stop at that. Self is the start. And I'm not going to sit here and say that you can trust everybody because you can't control everybody. Some of these people are just stuck in needing to hold someone else under so that they can stay afloat. And anybody who's really not prepared for somebody like that, there's absolutely nothing you can do. But for us just to sit by with that mentality of, oh well, not my problem, that's what I'm not understanding. Is we care about people. At least we say we care about people. Which genuinely, deep down, we do care about people, but it's selective. We see someone that's doing right and we gravitate to that person because it's the easy route. We see someone who's, confused about something or doing something that we don't agree with, and we just ignore it and walk away and move on. And doing that person absolutely no service. Because, you never know. Maybe that person was never told what they're doing is wrong. Because a lot of people just have that mentality of that's just the world. That's just the way it works. Well, is it working? Because it's really not fucking working. It has the illusion of working, but it's all hanging on by a thread. All it takes is just one little thing and the entire system is disrupted. Shit, look at the oil. Now everybody's freaking out about gas prices, and that's all it takes. How long is it going to take before, we can't get enough for the power plants? Confirmation. And then what? Everything stops. And we already know what would happen. It's been a psychological study for a while now. If the power grid went down, you think people are selfish now? Honestly, we have the opportunity to actually Set aside our bullshit differences. Again, I'm not talking to the people that are on the right track and that actually want to be good people. I'm talking to the people that don't want to be good people or are seeing the world that's just how the world is and I need to play into it too. That's the people I'm talking to here. I mean, that's the people I've been talking to. You know, it's just like with housing, okay? Yeah, the American dream is dead. You cannot own a fucking house because all of these rich people have bought the houses and sat it out for rent. Mass majority of our housing is rentals. And then they're getting paid consistently for doing pretty much nothing. For doing nothing. It really doesn't take much to maintain a house. And then you are paying a buttload more than if you would have just bought the house. You're paying on it in this economy nowadays over 1,000, over 2,000, over 3,000. I've seen fucking apartments going for 4,000, and it's not New York. Now take that times 12, okay? And then take that times 10. You just paid enough to buy the house. But no, you're still living in it, and therefore you're still paying on it. So, and yeah, property tax isn't that expensive. It really isn't. And I mean, these people just let the houses go to shit. They don't want to maintenance them. If you actually own the house, you would maintenance it. That's the difference between actually, owning it personally and owning it through business. You have that business mentality and everything is replaceable. But you actually own it personally and you have value to it. You put more value to it. We're just sitting and saying that's just how it is. All of us are getting a shoot up the boot. But no one's willing to do anything about it because, if you don't rent the house, then you won't have a house. And you can't just go and find another fucking house because it seems like everybody's jacked up their prices so goddamn high. It's ridiculous. And just when you think you're actually able to start, paying off these bills and maybe actually saving some fucking money, everything goes up again. But that's just the economy, says who? Who's saying this? The people that practically own the economy? Because they would love to have you think there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. I mean, mass majority of the problem of humanity is wanting power. And yes, power comes with money. And a lot of people just throw money at their problems. And since we're all just so infatuated with it, we take it. No questions asked. No fucks to give. Just pay me. So you literally just sold your integrity. I know I come into these videos thinking I'm going to talk about one thing, end up talking about a whole nother thing. It's just, everybody is just sitting there like, well, there's nothing I can do. Why not? I mean, again, no, there's absolutely nothing you can do by yourself. But it's an old saying, there's strength in numbers. I mean, and these people that own the houses, they're not even willing to sell them. That's their passive income. They don't have to do a fucking thing. They don't. There's absolutely nothing that you need to do in order to uphold a rental property. You need to do maintenance. You got to call somebody to go and maintenance it. You're not going to do the maintenance yourself. You got too much to do. No, the biggest worry of anyone who owns a rental property is getting the rent check. That's their biggest worry. So, I mean, and again, okay, housing prices have just been doing nothing but going up. And please, if somebody's got an explanation for why the housing prices are going up, then absolutely tell me. But if you're going to tell me just because it's the economy or resources or whatever, then you're a fucking idiot. Because let's look at the pattern here. What has happened? Well, I don't know. Housing prices go up, and then minimum wage goes up, and then prices for the products go up, and then housing goes up, the minimum wage goes up, and prices and products go up. But I mean, what really killed our economy is when the government let all of these businesses decide what they were going to have their prices as. And they just skyrocketed everything. And it ruined the economy and set us back a whole lot. And again, since everybody is just so worried about their own, getting theirs, we have made it where there's not enough to share. Because we are hoarding it. It's like having 5 cookies on the table and just saying, mine! When there's 5 people. Of course, a cookie isn't as valuable as, a $100 bill. And even if the other 4 are willing to, share, there's always that one that wants it all. And they don't even know why. It's just to have it. And I mean, that in itself, look at people who are actually, physical hoarders, where their house is all filled up with a bunch of stuff. Mass majority of the shit they have in that house, they don't actually know why they have it. It's just for looks or some other excuse that they give themselves. It's just to have it. And that's what we're doing with all of this shit. We think about want, and that's what we run with. I want it. And then you got those people that will get it at any cost. No matter who they have to trample over. No matter what dark deeds they gotta do. But this is that selfishness that we just will not look at. Again, I'm not talking about people, because let's face it, alright? If you have had to go through a healing journey, because not everybody has, let's just be real. If you have had to go through a healing journey, it is because you yourself hate yourself because of what you've been taught, told, shown, whatever. So to think about yourself is not selfish. Because it's finally you're thinking about yourself. However, we don't need to turn into the exact people that we healed from. And that's what people are thinking is the only way that you can retain peace is to be just like them. Do you really think they're happy? They might seem happy in public. You don't see them in private. But, you know, they just have that mentality that they're just too far gone. We ourselves, back when we had tribes, because there were tribes all over the world, it wasn't just America. We were actually working together as communities towards a similar goal of surviving and thriving. But nowadays, through employment, housing, shit just in school alone, everything has been made into a competition. We have literally been pitted against each other. But instead of actually seeing the culprit, we believe that our neighbor is the one that's in the wrong. Instead of seeing the seeds that were planted within that neighbor, we can't trust them. Instead of trying to uproot that weed so that the roses can grow, nah, I don't touch weeds. I mean, you took out the weeds in your own garden, right? See, this is where we get it confused, okay? Because again, not everybody has been on a healing journey. Not everybody needed to. And a lot of people just wean wine for attention and don't actually have bullshit going on in their lives. So, it's not about, well, their garden's not my responsibility. You're right. It's not. Not your responsibility. But I mean, you go to a community garden and you have the option to help out that garden or the option to walk away. But if you walk away, why are you coming back during harvest season? If you didn't put any effort into that garden and help with that garden, why do you expect to gain the harvest of it? So, and yes, a lot of us became so damn bitter because we had to do it by ourselves. It was clear no one gave a shit. Abundantly clear. And so we gained that mentality just from the people that were around us that we can't. Hell no. Never again. But realistically, because let's face it, even though we're trying to do the will of God and God's works and, trying to get out these messages, somebody doesn't want us to get out these messages. The evils of the world, it's not just, it's no singular entity. It is just people and their own demons. They don't want these things out. They don't want us to come together. They have interjected the healing process in order for you to stay isolated. You were isolated before your healing. You were isolated during your healing. And now you're isolated after. I'm not sure what that is. They win. Because people are easier to deal with when they're alone. They can't come together and communicate what they have observed, what they have gone through, how they've worked through it, and how they're progressing. That would be the worst case scenario for the evils of the world. For us to finally realize that the evils of the world are actually a smaller group than we think. And we have all just been influenced and manipulated in the wrong way. If we would just have came together, realistically, you shouldn't have to be entirely alone in order to fucking heal. I mean, that's why you go to therapy, right? But that therapist could give a fuck less as long as you pay him. Doesn't actually care whether you're actually going to make appropriate progress. They just say a bunch of shit that sounds nice, and you still pay them too fucking much. And then you got, no, I'm not going to go into that. I'm saying is to stay isolated and to remove yourself from society is to give them exactly what they want. Because again, the only way we can actually thrive as a species is to unite. And everyone wants to say, we're so advanced. We're so advanced. You must live in the suburbs. You must live in a cul-de-sac with a picket fence. Because you're not seeing the real world. We're not advanced. We're in a rush. We have all these damn problems, but no, we're going to ignore all of this because there's more shit to exploit and to sell. And then they think that that's the best motivator. You want this, don't you? You want a nice car, don't you? You better work. And now we're in a fucking state where a state of the economy and no one's really fucking hiring. But I mean, you got some people without jobs, other people with 3 jobs, and everybody's still fucking worried. But no, there's nothing you can do because we said so. There's nothing you can do. You don't understand. I'm going to tell you a bunch of stupid bullshit and that's the truth. That's how it is. And then we're not going to make any observations ourselves. That's just how it is. And then you believe that you have to become just like them so that you can have what they have, and you will never get what they have. They would have to relinquish what they fucking have first. That ain't happening. And there's been such a separation between the rich and the poor, and I'm not even going to say poor, because it seems like nowadays middle class is fucking poor. There's been such a separation between the two. We believe they're just untouchable. Well, I mean, yeah, with everybody's infatuation with money, they are untouchable. Because everybody's willing to sell their integrity. Mass majority of the problem is just our selfishness. But no one wants... I'm not going to be the one to change it. No one else will. I mean, yeah, you're right. Because everyone has that mentality. No one else is going to change it. Why should I? Now, I'm not saying you got to go and give your fucking wealth away. Advice is the most precious thing you can give somebody. It really is. I don't care how many diamond rings you have. I'd take advice over a fucking diamond ring. Money comes and it goes. Knowledge, wisdom, that remains. And no one can take it from you. So. We literally have all the power with the illusion of no power. We done did it to ourselves. All because you're not willing to put yourself aside and actually think about others. It's just you. Well, I want to go to Tahiti. Cool. And then you have just another memory that will fade. I mean, realistically, mass majority of the shit we have built on this world is pointless. It is literally just to grab money and to put people in a cage and to make you dependent. Because that's where the control comes from. Your dependency on them. And I mean, literally, just in America, what the hell is going on? And nobody wants to actually stand up. We're still too busy fighting each other. And a lot of it is just setup shit. Someone paid to pit people against each other. Because we see the real problems. No, the problem is between black and white. No, the problem is between man and woman. No, the problem is... The problem is tyranny. The problem is control. The problem is isolation. And yes, a lot of people have lost their empathy because they have been shown that empathy has no place in this world. It's a cutthroat world. Yeah, because we made it that way. We made this world. We made this economy. We made the rules of how we are going to live and how we are going to run it. So why can't we change them? We made them. You have to be in competition with everyone. Why? Just at your work, you're supposed to have a common goal of providing service. But no, employees are in competition with each other. And it doesn't even make them work better. It just makes them all pissed off at each other and trying to sabotage each other and cause more fucking drama. We cause our own drama. Competition is drama. That's why I don't watch sports. Like, I've never understood what fascination is with sports. Like, and it's literally people just rooting for a team because it's their state. Or their country, or whatever, territory, providence, whatever the fuck. So we can't just agree on something. We gotta be different! For your own recognition. Because we just need to be seen. Because the people that are around you aren't enough. You need the whole world in your hands. I never understood world domination. What are you going to do with all that power and control? Be just another Titanic. You steer the ship right into a fucking iceberg. I firmly believe that, yes, we need, different leaders in different parts of the world, because no one person can rule the world. You can't be everywhere. But I don't see why we have to be so disconnected from each other. And a lot of us alive today have no idea what the actual competition is between these countries. We were just told. I mean, a lot of Americans, it's not about what another country did. It's just, my country's the best. I have nothing to say to back that up. It just is. Just like every single person, their state's the best. Not understanding, yes, your state has these qualities. Yes, your country has these qualities. It's like a fly in a worm. And the flies eat shit to decompose the shit, make it into soil. And then the worms eat that soil and add more nutrients to that soil. But everybody wants to be singular. I own everything. And it's literally just because they're insecure with themselves. They want more, thinking that that's going to fill that hole. Because they're trying to fill that hole with shit that doesn't fit. It's like trying to put a square in a circle. And then we just want more and more and more, and then wonder why we're still feeling this way. Because you're not actually looking at the problem. You're not looking at what that fucking hole is. You just think you can ignore it by filling it with materialism. Excuse me. It doesn't work. I mean, it's hot. the most peaceful time we had on this planet was fucking never. Everybody wants control. Everybody wants to be most important and have a statue put up about them. Because that's a valuable way to use our resources. We can't actually have any statues that bring true inspiration. We do have statues that bring true inspiration. We have paintings that bring true inspiration. But we also have paintings and statues and other things that are just, it's for what? And I'm sorry, but if you have to go into a whole 4-paragraph fucking explanation of what your art represents, you've lost. Because, it's not, people shouldn't have to figure out what the hell you're trying to perceive by reading it and then, oh, well, yeah, okay, I guess I can see that. They should be able to look at that and go, wow. And then read it and be like, that's exactly what I got from it. Just like if you have to explain a joke. It's obviously not a fucking funny joke, huh? But we're just doing all of this dumbass shit for money. Look at mumble rap. Absolutely nothing to it. No objective. It's just for money. We have completely lost focus of what we're even trying to do. Back when the Industrial Revolution started, we had an objective. And now, we don't care what's made as long as it sells and gets us money. We don't care what the quality is. Actually, the worse quality, the better, because we need it to break so they buy another. And then instead of actually progressing in inventions, we're just stuck with these. And they just keep getting made the same way. No innovation. It's not that I have a problem with money. Money is a tool. It's how we use it that I have a problem with. We're using it selfishly. Hoarding it. Getting it by any means necessary. You can literally sell anything as long as someone's willing to buy it. And some people buy stupid shit just for the sake of buying it. Stupid shit, okay? Like, people buy underwear. Okay. And we just let it all go. Because we don't want to deal with it. And yet we're still going to have to deal with it. How can you complain about the state of the world, but yet you don't want to do anything about it? Don't want to even try. And anybody who does try is just, yay, and then they walk away. Because they believe there is absolutely nothing you can do. Besides what we're doing now, just talk. And it's really over fear. fear of death, fear of imprisonment, fear of exile. And you know, I get it. No one wants to be on the bottom, right? But, if we were all equal, who's on the bottom? If we're all equal, I guess technically everyone is on the bottom, but everyone is also on the top. There is no greater or lesser? Yeah. And you know, everybody already knows it. Change does not happen with one person. The only way it can actually happen is through the ripple effect. You know, we want to put in all this work in order to fuck someone else over, but we don't want to actually put any work into creating an even playing field. And a lot of it is just the greedy ones hoarding all the money, throwing money at their problems, silencing people with money, and people selling their integrity because we've put too much importance into currency, into money, not even currency. And currency is anything that is exchanged. You can see a bird as currency if you would trade the bird for something. So, I mean, yeah, back in the day, money actually held value. It was tied to the value of gold. How much gold you had in the bank. It's not tied to anything anymore. Just a number that we decide. We do decide. And the point of inflation, the whole reasoning behind that was that they were trying to gain back all of the bills so that they could try and, you know, heighten the value of the dollar. And yet, none of those prices would have changed back. Excuse me. Even if all of us would have given all of our money back to Uncle Sam, the rightful owner of it. Yes, federal note is the property of the whatever. If we would have gave it all back to them, even just kept, you know, $50 for ourselves, none of the prices would have changed. Because they're just still stuck in that greed mentality. And all it really was is just to make you have less while they have more. Typical. Because that's where they hold human value. They tie your value to how much money you have. And that's all people. A lot of people do that. They don't see you as valuable unless you have a whole bunch of money. Sorry, but this is worth more than any diamond. This is worth more than any diamond. Couldn't see it, this thing right here. But it's just what we're told. And we just run with it because everybody says it. And you know what? No one actually believes it. They're just accepting the lie that they have been told. I mean, I don't know, you can call me delusional all you want to, but I will remain hopeful in humanity because I see the potential. And I see, people actually getting fed up with shit, but we still have that mentality that there's nothing we can do. They've made it quite fucking hard because, again, everybody fears imprisonment, death, or exile. They have us all living in fear constantly. I mean, again, people that have more than enough will not see a problem because they're not living in it. They have no idea what's actually going on with the actual people. And those who have actually been there know what it's like. Still have that in the back of their mind. But they don't want to jeopardize what they have. Again, they have us all living in fear. Everyone. And again, we're really not making anything worth a damn on this planet. We're really not. And all we're gonna do is just run ourselves into the fucking ground, our entire species. But yeah, I gotta make it fucking longer now. But I love you all. Big hearts all around. And I love you.